Credit card debt reaches a record $1 trillion as Americans face rising costs and financial vulnerability. Credit card debt has hit a record $1 trillion for the first time according to a recent survey from the Federal Reserve Bank of New York. The most recent quarterly report on household debt and credit showed a $45 billion increase in credit card balances to $1.03 trillion, while total household debt stood at $17.06 trillion. This data could have significant implications for Americans. Americans' accumulated debt clearly demonstrates their increased reliance on credit cards during economic downturns. With the rising cost of living, Americans are not using credit cards primarily to engage in reckless consumer spending. But instead, they pay for basic necessities like food and gas. Americans are increasingly worried as the country's mountain of credit card debt is skyrocketing. With the federal student loan waiver set to expire this fall, millions of people may rely more on credit. Consumers are increasingly worried. More than half of Americans are concerned about their ability to pay off their credit card debt this year. According to a Newsweek conducted by Redfield and Wilton Strategies poll, nearly 50% of people are in debt month to month, up from 39% last year, according to Bankrate.com. According to Bankrate analyst Greg McBride, the data also shows more people are falling behind on payments. McBride sees this as evidence of a K-shaped recovery from the pandemic, in which the gap between the rich and the poor has widened. Impact of the Federal Reserve Bank. The Fed's increase in interest rates is meant to fight inflation, but it also leads to a higher annual percentage rate (APR) for people with credit card debt, which means they pay more in interest. The Fed announced last Wednesday that it would increase rates by another 25 basis points, the highest level since 2001. The national average credit card debt is $5,733, according to TransUnion. That debt has to be paid taking into account the average APR for revolving credit accounts is 24.69%, according to Forbes Advisor's weekly credit card rate report. Credit card debt problems. High levels of debt can lead to reduced economic growth and financial hardship for Americans. Americans are struggling to make ends meet, especially when wages fail to keep pace with inflation. In LendingClub's 2023 report, 60% of respondents self-reported that they were living paycheck to paycheck. People may have to take 2 or 3 jobs to pay off their debts or be forced to declare bankruptcy. What can you do? 1. Financing your lifestyle through credit card debt is not sustainable in the long term and can lead to debt cycles. Here's what you can do to improve your financial health. 2. Create a budget and track spending to better understand spending habits. 3. Seek professional help from a credit counselor or financial advisor to develop a debt management plan. 4. Consider debt consolidation or refinancing options to reduce interest rates and simplify payments. 5. Practice good financial habits, such as paying bills on time, avoiding unnecessary expenses, and saving. 6. Ask your boss for a raise. If your financial situation is dire, you may want to consider changing jobs, taking on extra jobs, or taking on side jobs. 7. Seek support from family, friends, or mental health professionals to manage your financial stress and anxiety.